Hello guys, welcome back to Wheezy Junction. It's been a long time, but boy, have I got a story to tell you. So sit back, relax. I'm going to tell you as it is, where I've been and what we've been up to. At the end of the last episode, I left you with the goods shed, which we have continued some work on onto the platform area and the outside hard standing, as well as the little platform adjacent to the main station platform and a staging area just outside. I managed to get the skylight light fitted as well. Made this all up with Plastruct, 1mm Plastruct. And yeah, all looking very good, to be honest. It was all going very well. We did a little bit more work to the bridge. It put some more foliage in, put some crash barriers in, and basically just generally tidied the area up a little bit, put some more bushes and a little bit more scenery stuff, especially on the back steps there. Managed to finish all that off. Never happy with this little hill. Didn't really do a lot for me, but it was something to cover it, and just generally made it all look very pretty. Prettied it all up, and then this was about the time that I stopped doing the major work to the layout. But here are some shots of the finished bridge, etc., and the little bit above the halts and over the hillside. You may or may not have heard of a company called the Greenwood Laser. They make little 3mm ply laser cut buildings, some shops and houses, low relief and full houses. They are very, very good little kits, and they go together very, very well. I opted for my shop to be a chip shop, so we made a little fryer, put some fish and chips in it, etc. But they have a nice little range of double houses and the old Victorian with the bay windows. So yeah, there we are, some nice little houses. Where are we going to put them? The plan was always to go above the loop that goes around and back into Cirencester. So I've now set to doing all the carpentry, putting a lid on it, putting some hinges on, coat of paint, and there we are. We have a lift up section which will house all our little buildings, that'll make up our village above the Cirencester Loop. So there, just a little bit of running, because that was the last running on the current layout. We had a major problem. The Class 52 and the Era went into the tunnel. Only one of them actually came out the tunnel below Tetbury, and I had a massive problem. It's actually resulted in this. I've had to rip everything up to find a short, which after weeks and weeks of not wanting anything to do with the layout, I did find, and it was only on ripping the track up that I found it. We had a track pin across the track, so it's actually touching both tracks. It has enabled me to have a rethink, have a rebuild, and restart, I've managed to iron out and eliminate the 2-inch discrepancy between the what I call the Tetbury board and the heights of Cirencester. So now I've got a massive plan to put a hinged section in that I can lift up and work on. So that has been my project over the last probably 3 weeks now, probably 4 weeks by the time we get to see this. But there we are. I'm happy to say it has worked. We are hinged. We are ready to rebuild. We have the technology, and with your help and your support, then I'm sure that we're going to carry on regardless, and we're going to get this thing done. I have had a slight change of plan to the layout as well, but I'm going to let you know more about that in a little bit more detail at another time. But for now, this is the reason I've been away, because it really hasn't been very easy at Wheezy. It's been one of those major headaches, and with the lockdown and with everything else that's going on in the world at the moment, it has been probably the last thing on my mind is to run any trains, etc. With this in mind, of course, obviously there's going to be lots to come from me, but I would just like to say a massive thank you to my wife in particular, who without her I would never have been done. So thank you, darling. So what can you say? Clean your track before you run trains, and if you have got a short, just persistence. Try not to lose heart. Just keep going until you find it, I suppose. But it caused me one heck of a headache, of which I completely lost interest. And as I said in the video there, I walked away and just did other things. I did carry on with a few bits of modelling, but just walked away from my own layout. But in the meantime, obviously we've got one or two channels that I'd just like to mention that have really given me some inspiration to keep going. One in particular is John Xhaven. He's got a fantastic developing layout, and just proof that if things are done right, patience, the track laying in particular is done right, then it does pay off. He's got, as I say, a great developing layout that's worthy of. It's going to be up there with some of the best, I think. So yeah, great work from John. Always try to look in on him. Mark Piddle in the Marsh, some great running, and a little bit of naughtiness from Mark. Always brings a chuckle and a bit of a smile, and why not, hey? We have got a little bit of naughtiness on this one, but not quite introduced yet. It's part of life. We're all in the same boat, etc. So why not? It's my layout, etc. So we just go with it. And I mean, people like Tris at O'Neill, great guy using technology and 3D printing, and just his engineering background is amazing. He really just knocks it out every week or every month, and it's always great work. On that subject, John at Piccadilly, John Warner. I've actually spoken to John on one occasion, but I've had quite a bit of contact with John. I followed his channel from very early on, and I love the way that John is making use of 3D printing, and I really do wish I could do it. I wish I could get into all the CAD designing and all the other bits and pieces. Amazing, John, really, really well. And that really does fight for the inspiration that I need to keep going myself, because I see people like you doing that with your bits and pieces, and whether I can make it, not 3D print it, but can I make that? We'll have a go at that. So that gives me a little bit of inspiration to go on. But one I would really, really like to give a bit of a shout out to, actually, because Michael, wow, Michael, you really have got a skill whether you've got an arty background, a designy background, or what, you really have got, I'm sure a lot of other guys will agree with me, you really have got one heck of a layout they're developing in Chandwell. If you haven't seen it yet, go and check his channel out. Chandwell, absolutely amazing layout, from the weir to the pub buildings to his latest station build. I watched it just this morning, actually, before I record this. I've just watched his latest station build, part 1. It's absolutely amazing, the detail and the quality. And again, it's obviously persistence and patience pays off, which I think is where I've been lacking a little bit of late. Hence, to let that happen, to mess mine up. Paul Sheedy over at Wickford in Ireland. Oh, Paul, every week, mate, I look forward to your videos. They really are fantastic. I love the running. I love some of the sites you've got. I've got a few bits here I really would love to send over to you, but I know, as you pointed out, the customs and all the other rubbish that's gone on since Brexit are causing slight problems these days. But yeah, I've got a few bits that would fit really well on your layout that I'd love to send over to you. Chris at Four Oaks. I'm not sure whether you're, can't remember if he's in New Zealand or Australia. He's that end of the world anyway. Amazing layout, Chris. I love Four Oaks as a layout. You've got so much going on there, and with that helix, wow, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Stephen at Elvenholme. Stephen, you know I always comment on your stuff. You know I've sent you some the ash pit in the past. You're a great inspiration because you're a fantastic scratch builder. You research things, you pen it, which I probably don't on mine. I just get it in my head and I go for it. But yeah, Stephen Elvenholme, I'm sure we've all followed you anyway. So yeah, Mouldy Raspberry. There's another one in 00 scale. Charlie at Chadwick, always good to hear from Charlie. So yeah, I've been listening and I've been watching you guys. When I'm not modelling, I'm still looking out and I'm still watching your channels. And you really are inspiration to me. But I do want to give a massive thank you and a massive shout to, I call him a good friend of mine. We talk through his channel. I comment on his stuff and we have a little bit of two-way, but I really would love at some point in my life, if it's ever possible, to come and visit and have a look at Tony Northeastern. Wow, you scratch build like an absolute expert. You are so inspirational. What can I build today? It's not a case of do Farish do this or do Bachman do this. It's a case of I need a factory, let's build it. And do you know what, your planning, your skill involved in your measuring, etc., just absolute inspiration. So all I'm doing here is mentioning you guys that have kept me interested in the hobby over my misdemeanors that I've had. Hopefully it's all sorted now. I have got a little bit of a long way to go, as we know, because it's not a 5-minute job, but I'm going to try and bring that patience and that little bit of something that was missing from my modelling in watching you guys that I've just mentioned. Each one of you has given something to me in the way I do, or the way I'm going to do and go forward with this layout. I have now got, apart from Cirencester, that's down, that's laid, buildings are made, but Tetbury is going to be rebuilt in effect. And as far as the actual loop goes, it's just going to be for running my Pullman, my blue Pullman. I spent 400 quid on it, so I'm not going to, 350, not 400, slight exaggeration then. 350, I spent 350 quid on a Pullman blue Pullman, absolutely love it. I love the new Kato Class 800 as well. So I want to buy one of those whenever finances are available. So I need something to run it on. So I've just got one loop that's going to go all the way around and back on itself. We'll end up with 4 lines coming back along the window, and they go around the loop and rejoin, probably go through a bit of a station somewhere, don't know. That'll make up as I go along, but in effect, the loop that's underneath Cirencester at the moment is staying. I will rejoin that now on a level board. Now it's all been levelled up. But my main problem with getting underneath the layout is now sorted, because I can lift up this main board that Tetbury is now going to be sat on with an extra 1.5 foot to work on, so I can spread it out a bit more and make it look a little bit more realistic, and get a lot more detail in there. So yeah, it's in effect it's a restart. So once again I apologise for not putting any content out, but I'm sure you can understand my situation health-wise, etc. And basically being knocked for 6 with having this short and not being able to work it out. But over the course of a few months I did persist, and I got so fed up with it I thought, no, damn it, let's rip it up. And it was on ripping it up that I actually managed to find the short. So there we go. Thanks for looking in. Hopefully I can get something out very shortly after this. I'm within a month. I'm not going to promise anything. Like I say, it's just a vlog for me to make a video note of what I've done and where I'm up to. But other than that, thank you very much for tuning in once again. If you want to like, share, subscribe, then thank you very much. To all my followers and all the other people that have come on board of late, thank you very much. And hopefully you won't be too disappointed with what is going to be coming up. And I'll try and film everything as I go. My son's just got into a YouTube thing, so he's quite sort of keyed up for me to have another go. And he says he's going to help me film it as well, so we'll see. Thank you very much for watching. You take care of yourself, stay warm, stay well. Most of all, stay out of trouble, but keep modelling, keep modelling. And guys, all you guys mentioned, just thank you very much. You've kept me going. So take care of yourselves. Until the next time, guys.